Gentlemen, it is now 10 o'clock, and I'd like to welcome you to Commissioners Court for Monday the 11th. We do have a quorum, so at this point in time, we'll go ahead and get underway. Call to order at 10 o'clock. We do not have someone to say our prayer today, so therefore I get the pleasure to do it myself. So if you would, and then Commissioner Art will lead our pledges right after that. Bow with me, please. Most gracious Heavenly Father, we are so thankful for this opportunity to come together and do the business of the county. Lord, we ask that you be with us today and guide our decisions, that they may be pleasing to you and pleasing to the people that live in this county. Lord, go with us. Give us the wisdom that we need to make the right decisions in all things. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Hey, Chris, can we turn the volume down on that?
United States flag. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
the Texas flag.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Once again, thanks for the interest in being here. Item number 5 would be public comments on agenda items. Do we have anybody signed up, Chelsea?
That is not public hearing.
Okay. We do have some comments, but they'll come later on. Okay, gotcha. Item number 6, the consent agenda. The consent agenda includes non-controversial and routine items that the court may act on with one single vote. The judge or a commissioner may pull any item from the consent agenda in order that the court discuss and act upon it individually as part of the regular agenda.
I'd like to pull C, Judge.
C. All right. Commissioner Hollowell would like to pull item C. Anything else?
I'll make a motion, we approve everything except for C.
Commissioner Snuggs makes the motion that we approve everything on the consent agenda with the exception of item C. Second. Second, Commissioner Sicking. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? There are none. Let's go back and pick up item C then, Commissioner Hollowell.
C is budget amendments, and we've got one in there for the purchase of additional ammo. That's one we talked about in budget, and I think we reduced it from 800 to 450. We're probably less than halfway through the budget year. Might have other issues come up with prices of fuel and stuff before we start moving stuff out of uniforms and other line items to pay for ammo. I just asked the court if they want to look at that.
So you want to maybe bring that back as a consent item maybe next time? After checking it out?
Where's he moving from?
He's moving it out of uniforms. He had $750 in uniforms, but I can't imagine he's used $450 halfway through budget. So I would make the motion for now that we pull that and deny it, and that, later in the year, maybe if he's got some extra money and needs some ammo, we reconsider it.
Okay, so Commissioner Hollowell makes the motion that we do not pass item C on the agenda at this time, but bring it back later in the year.
That one item, Judge, on item
Right,
C.
item C.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd make a motion we approve C with the
Oh, okay,
exception
I
of
got
that,
you. I got you.
if that's the way you'd like to do it.
Okay, so we're addressing only the ammo issue in item C, that you'd like to not pass that part of item C and bring it back later in the year then, did I say that?
That's correct.
Okay.
Did you read? So it looks like what he's doing, instead of buying boxes, he's changing it so he can buy it by the case.
Well, that'd be 20 boxes, and you've got a one-man department with a couple of reserves, and, you know, I think they're all carrying different calibers, so, you know,
I see what you're saying, I was just saying if it's, I wonder what the difference would be. Still more money halfway through the year.
well, and
Motion's on the table.
certainly open for discussion. I mean, Academy's got 9mm ammo brass, $13 a box, so. Anyway, motion's on the table.
Motion's on the table, do I hear a second? Second, Commissioner Sicking. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? And there are none. That motion to deny the ammo portion of item C is denied. The rest of item C passes with the rest of the consent agenda. And the consent agenda itself, did we already vote on that? We did, okay. Then let's go right to item number 7, deliberate and consider possible approval of the final plat for Rattler Ridge, a proposed 9-lot development at 783 County Road 297, Gainesville, Texas.
Everything in, Kathy?
Yes, sir.
This is the final on a very easy one. Every lot opens onto County Road 297, which is gravel road. They've met all of our standards and engineering's approved it, so I make a motion we approve the final plat for Rattler Ridge.
We have a motion to approve the final plat for Rattler Ridge from Commissioner Snuggs.
Second.
Second, Commissioner Arndt. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And there are none. Item number 7 passes 5-0.
And that's how it's spelled. I'm not that Texan when I say Rattler.
Rattler. You don't say rattler?
No, I think that's how it would be, but this is Rattler.
Well, it's rattler to me. Okay.
That's how I grew up too.
There you
I guess
go.
I am that Texas.
Okay, item number 8 then. Open public hearing regards request by Pierce's, is it Pierce's Vine?
Pierce's Vine, yes, sir.
Okay, Pierce's Vine LLC for special use permit for existing winery and tasting room at the edge of the lake venue located at 872 County Road 231 in Valley View, Texas. And we will open that public hearing at 10:08. Do we have anybody who wishes to speak to that issue? Would you please step to the microphone and identify yourself, and then go ahead.
I'm Debbie Streebig. I live at 781 County Road 231 across from this. I'm asking the county commissioners and the judges, I don't know who does the regulation on this, but I think we need to look into getting some tighter regulations and rules on tasting rooms. Because when there's anything I can find on tasting rooms in the county level as far as what's allowed and what's not allowed. There needs to be an enforcement division to enforce whatever regulations. There needs to be clear-cut rules defining the difference between a tasting room and a restaurant and bar. The TABC allows tasting rooms at wineries. They are allowed to sell winery promotional items, sell wine or give it for free, and have finger foods to cleanse the palate between the different wine types. That's the spirit of the approval. This, according to the TABC, does not usurp city and county zoning or any other local regulations. 3 years ago, this operation was a small operation in the tasting room. This is now morphed into a 4-day open restaurant, commercial bar, tasting room offering multiple events similar to a regular bar function, women's nights, games, bingo, dinners by the reservation, alcohol special, and on some nights, outdoor musical entertainment. It does not matter how the food gets there. If you have a menu and you serve food and you charge for the food, it is a restaurant or a bar restaurant. Essentially, at this point, we have a 7,500 square foot commercial restaurant bar operating on the shores of the lake. It has been operating 3 years without an SUP, and so it has fallen through the cracks of taxation. This business is drawing 40 to 60 cars a day. This is on the CAD, is a 7,500 square foot residence on a 1 acre residential lot, surrounded by ag exempt lands full of wine vines. This is essentially the same classification as everybody else living in the area. Everyone else is living in their residences and with 1 to 6 people operating their farms and ranches on the ag land. What is the tax benefit to the county if we're allowing people to get an SUP and they're being taxed as residents? There needs to be some more regulation. There needs to be some clear-cut rules as far as what's allowed. The Lake Comprehensive Plan was authorized to keep commercial properties off of the shores of the lake to keep the atmosphere of the lake rural. By not having regulations on the winery tasting rooms, this type of business will begin popping up all around the lake shores. Somebody can go and they can plant 50 grapevines, apply for a winery SUP permit, and open up a bar tasting, or a tasting room, and essentially morph into a bar, and then it's on the lakefront, and we have a commercial business. This is a commercial business. It's 7,500 square feet building. It's advertising, it's drawing in people, it's doing everything any commercial business does. So I'm asking that these regulations be passed and something be done to tighten up this so that we can follow the comprehensive plan that was set up for the lake and the zoning regulations that were set up to protect the lake. Not everybody understands the intent of things or has respect for what the county is trying to do for the lake. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your comments. Would anyone else like to comment on this public hearing item?
I can respond to the restaurant portion of it if you'd like.
Yes.
If you would, identify yourself. That's okay.
I'm Chris McIntosh. I'm part owner and operator of Edge of the Lake Vineyard, the one applying for the SUP. While I appreciate Debbie's comments, the state of Texas and TABC recognize a restaurant as a business that 51% of their sales come from food. We're not anywhere near that. We're closer to 10% as far as food sales. Under our G permit, which is given to us by TABC, we're able to not only run our vineyard, but produce our product as production considered ag by TDA, and serve and sell those products in our tasting room along with snack items. Everything that we serve is pretty much finger food, like bruschetta and charcuterie boards, this kind of standard thing that wineries do. We have no intent of that place becoming a restaurant. You know, I know some wineries during COVID pivoted to being a bistro and so they could stay open. We weren't part of that because we opened after the COVID in February of 21. I think the overall point of us being here is to get our SUP corrected. And when I was at the P&Z, I apologized for my ignorance and not unknowing that we needed an SUP. I thought I followed all the steps. I called the city, I called the county to make sure we had done everything that we were supposed to do. And obviously I've had a very crash course in P&Z here in the recent months. So I'm asking that the Commissioner of Court pass it because we're really just trying to correct something that got left out. And that's all I have to say. All right.
Thank you.
Any other comments on the request?
I have one more, Judge. If we could, I know at the original meeting, one of the planning and zoning guys was wanting to put a time limit. It's very important to him to put a time limit on the length of the time that the SUP was, before it had to be reapplied. I would request that we definitely could try to do that, either a 3-year or a 5-year, so that we can see where this goes and what it morphs into, continuing to morph into. I understand what Chris is saying, but I do understand too that when you advertise wine dinners and you have to have a reservation, not sure why you have to have a reservation for finger foods, but I think there needs to be a time limit, and I think there needs to be some regulations to control what the SUP entitles people to do. Thank you.
Would you like to respond to that, since she got an extra moment there?
Yeah. Again, Chris McIntosh. I'm asking the court not to put a limitation. You know, there's obviously, you know, tons of money that pours into starting a project like this, and to come back in 3 to 5 years and somebody different on the court or a different judgment comes across to say, well, we're going to shut you down. I think that sets a bad precedent for all businesses that open up within the county if they're given limitations. I understand cities do that when property's being rezoned to be for a specific business that's going in, and they reevaluate that. But that's not something that's ever been done on the county level from what I understand. So I don't understand why specifically that would be asked for just our business type. Doesn't seem to make a whole lot of sense to me. As far as the wine dinners, we do 3 wine dinners a year. They're for our club members. We have a private chef come in and prepare those dinners. And that's the only time those dinners take place. And that's a pretty common thing in the winery business, is to offer wine dinners at specific times. They're not a weekly thing. They're not a monthly thing. They're a seasonal thing that we do to celebrate different parts of the season. Okay?
Any other comments on this request? If not, item number 9, close the public hearing at 10:17. Item number 10, deliberate and consider possible action regarding the request by Pierce's Vine LLC for special use permit for existing winery and tasting room at Edge of the Lake venue located at 872 County Road 231 in Valley View, Texas.
Where do you want me to start? So Debbie is right. We have some enforcement issues going on in the P&Z. For the last 90 days, all I work on every day is the P&Z. I'm lost, guys. Like, nowhere does any commissioner have to deal with what I have to deal with in Texas. There's 1,016 commissioners, and I'm the only one dealing with what I'm dealing with. There's no money for enforcement. I'm not allowed to go on people's property and do enforcement. Like, it's not in the commissioner's job description. But, I mean, that's the hand that Precinct 2 has always been dealt, so I'm dealing with it. I'll hit on a couple things, and then I'll kind of tell y'all what I think. But I'll hit on one thing, like with the taxes that she's talking about. So she is right. You know, house taxes, business taxes and all that, but that doesn't have anything to do with Commissioner's Court. That's all the appraisal district enforcing the comptroller's rules. So that doesn't have anything to do with us. That probably, you know, appraisal district watches our docket, so they're going to be looking for that if it's a full business. But with that being said, Texas also in the ag department has so many things right now that they're trying to push on wineries. There's a whole lot of special perks and tax benefits because this is kind of a new thing for Texas ag. They're trying to push this, so there are rules that I don't even know about. But it is a unique situation. Like she said, it was a residence turned into a business, you know. So, but that's not up to us. That's all CCAD. Make sure I hit all my notes here. As far as a time limit, I understand what Debbie is saying. You know, it doesn't necessarily have to be a time limit granted on their special use permit. but maybe it does, so that we just kind of keep an eye on things and make sure they're doing what they promised us they were gonna do. But Mr. McIntosh is also right. You can't have somebody invest a lot in a business and then 3 to 5 years from now worry about whether they're gonna be in business. But if they did break the rules of their special use permit, that is grounds for that to happen. So cities do special use permits, and they do put time limits on them, but we are not a city. You know, nowhere else in any Texas county is this even a thing. It's only in the P&Z. And for the people who don't know what the Lake Roberts P&Z is, nowhere in Texas can counties zone land. We don't have that power, only cities, incorporated areas. But within 5,000 foot of the lake shore, our county has zoning privileges. And there's only 12 spots like this, and we're the second largest state in the United States. So 12 spots out of the second largest land. I mean, it's just a very minute thing that any county has to deal with. With that being said, you know, we have to follow these rules that the state put forth. And one of the reasons, you know, Debbie is upset, this is her residence and farm. The other people had a residence and farm, and they opened a winery on it, but you know, it's just, it is granted by special use permit in the P&Z. It is part of our regulations that these things can take place. So she is right. We probably need to look at the state rules, get together later and maybe readjust our P&Z rules. I've known that for just a little bit, but we just haven't had a chance to do that yet. But this decision has to be made on our current rules. So, and back to enforcement, they were operating without the special use permit, but I didn't know that. I didn't know when it was built. You know, I come in office, I don't know who has special use permits and who doesn't. That might be something we need to look at with our enforcement. But they did, as soon as they found out they were not within the rules, they did apply immediately to get legal. So, but y'all have any thoughts? I've talked now for 10 minutes.
Well, you just said that you want P&Z to relook at this, come up with a different plan. Does that mean when his time runs up that go?
I wouldn't think
See,
so.
I don't want to.
I wouldn't think so. I
that'd be
think,
fair at all to do
yeah,
that.
I think that the decision needs to be made on what's the rules are now for him. But you know, I think moving forward, we need to. You know, it's not like we're going to block them out. We just need to maybe get a definition of them, put it in our regulations, and say, you know, this is what a tasting room is. It's not a restaurant, or it is a restaurant if
Or
we're going to
future
allow
use.
that, or for future use. Yeah.
I mean, if his special use comes up in 3 years or whatever, you'll say, oh, no, this, you know, the rules will change.
Well, he could adjust at that point, I would think. Yeah.
Depends what the change rules.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't think you'd be able to
You
go
know what I mean?
backwards,
I mean-
but you could go forward.
Yeah,
He
it
should be grandfathered.
He was grandfathered, yeah. It's, the P&Z is quite the wild thing here lately.
Is there any other type of alcohol being sold, Chris?
Yes.
Sounds like some considerations would be get the Cooke County Appraisal District involved, let them sort out what the ag code says about taxes. And then the alcohol-related stuff's gonna fall under the Texas Alcoholic Beverage Commission. So I think our decision as to whether or not to correct the SUP or approve it or whatever we're gonna go do, and the rest is probably gonna be outside the realm of the court. But
Yeah, that is for sure. And I talked a lot, just kind of giving y'all some, I wanted to touch everything she said about enforcement and everything.
what's the P&Z say?
The P&Z approved it. I should have started with that.
With recommendations, remember?
For the time limit.
And site evaluation, they want a formal site evaluation filed.
Okay.
That, as cities are required to do. And the motion was made by the mayor from Valley View, which he knows the city laws, I think, better than he knows the P&Z laws.
Yeah, and we can't,
I don't think we have anything in our regulations about requiring site evaluations or anything.
anything.
There is I think there was an option for a time limit. And I think if we put a time limit on it, it's not to shut you down, it's to make sure that you were still operating as when you came to us now, you know, that you haven't added a big kitchen or, you know, something like that.
And if he chose to do that, he simply reapplies.
Yeah.
But he would be, anything he's doing now should be grandfathered.
Just where I'd have to reapply just if we changed our kitchen, that it's not based on the amount of food sold, because I'm not.
I mean, that's kind of the,
Uh,
so that, isn't that what the state come up with, that, like you said, 51% of the food or what, I don't remember.
Right, as long as I don't
During-
cross that 51% mark, it doesn't matter what a kitchen equipment I have, right? Yeah, well, you mentioned that, that's why I asked.
Yeah. And I'm more asking
Okay.
than making a statement, because I think the court has very little authority. It's gonna go back to TABC and
Right.
things of that nature. It's the reason I asked the alcohol question. You know, if you're serving something other than wine, I would think it would fall,
We'd have
it'd
to-
become a bar.
Yes, sir.
So, and then that changes your,
Under the cheap permit, we're only allowed to produce wine. We can make brandy fortified for like dessert wines, but we can't sell the brandy in and of itself. But currently, we don't make the port style wine at this point, so.
If y'all bear with me, I'm trying to get to the special use permits.
I'd be curious, you know, if you started selling some other type of alcohol,
Right.
if the SUP would apply.
Right. And I don't believe TABC will allow me to hold like a mixed beverage permit and a cheap permit on the same property, so I don't think that would ever be an issue.
Anybody else have any questions while Commissioner Snows is looking this up?
I'm sorry, I should have already had this pulled up, but I didn't think it would take me this long to get to. Okay.
How many total acres do y'all own out there?
100 acres.
You got some on both sides of 231, the way it shows.
No, it's on the same side, well, as you're coming up, we own on the east side of the road, and then the road turns, we own property on the other side.
Right.
Right. The majority of that is obviously farmland, some gets hay right now, we have 15 acres, and we're planning to expand the vineyard part, but that's.
It doesn't say anything about what you talked about, Kathy, about requiring the,
I don't know that we can.
yeah. It does say you can put a time limit on. I think more like time limit could be, it just needs to be, I need to build some sort of a list where we can just, even the commissioners after me have a list of special use permits to keep an eye on or something, you know?
I have a file.
Yeah. Whether we impose a time limit or, you know, it's just, the job duties, because when it was passed to me, I didn't have to get any of these. There was nothing before me built, so I've been working on some things and, you know, passing it on to another commissioner one day. I'd like to make it easier for them.
Jason, could I make one quick comment?
Yes, ma'am?
On the site-specific use permits plan, on the Cook County zoning regulations, into what Kathy said, the required information, this is under B3A. Each application should be accompanied by a site plan, and such information is required by these lake zoning regulations. That may have been where the mayor got the site plan.
the,
Yeah, it says somewhere else it could be a informal sketch.
okay, there it is.
Reading the regulations for the SUP,
How
so
did I-
that's what we're discussing.
How did I miss that?
They did file it too.
The site, yeah, that, we talked about that night. You told them you had a
We got it.
site plan,
We
okay.
got it.
Do you, is that in the packet?
It's in the P and Z packet.
Okay.
Filed with the clerk.
Not in today's packet, though.
No.
Okay.
Well, it might be.
I'm looking for help on this one, guys, so however we want to do this, I deal with it every day, but I'm not an expert.
Aren't they?
Do what?
They're kind of regulated, aren't they, if he doesn't, I mean, if he turns it into a restaurant, that's, I mean,
I'll definitely be, I'll put that as a stipulation that it doesn't, become a restaurant. Because restaurants are not allowed where this location is.
right, so if he puts a restaurant in there, he's gonna get shut out anyway.
Yeah,
So, I mean,
that's a good point.
I don't,
I don't see a site plan, Jason.
Yeah, she said it's in the P and Z packet.
Yeah, but I just thought I'd
Yeah.
look.
Can we, I'd rather get a site plan in the packet for next time
Okay.
and, get me a little more time to get everything together here and then just bring it back next court.
I was gonna ask, especially since you want to get it to a point where you can pass it on to whoever takes over after you. I think we need to do everything we can to get it absolutely right this time, where it's not
Oh, yeah, for sure.
yeah.
Had a motion to table?
Yeah, I'll make a motion, we table
A
this. and bring it
suggestion
back
we
next
table?
time.
Okay, Commissioner Snuggs makes a motion that we table item number 10. And do you have any recommendation next time, or?
We have all the stuff that we need, we just need to get it in our packet so y'all can see it legally.
Okay, so next time, then?
Yeah, that's because that's what we gotta do is do a motion to table it to make sure that it comes back next time. Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll go ahead and, with Commissioner Snuggs' motion, table item number 10. Do I?
Yeah, I'm not sure we even need a motion for a table, but I'll
Well, we
second
don't,
it.
But
if we-
I just want to know if
Yeah.
we're in agreement on that.
Oh, absolutely.
Is that okay with y'all? Okay. So,
Site
item number
plan.
10 is tabled. No action. Item number 11, open another public hearing. Request by Manuel and Wendy Oliveras to replat Lot 51, Block 2, FRF Estates, Section 3, being 2 acres located at 1345 West Lone Oak Road in Valley View, Texas. You saying something?
And what are we trying to split it?
We had a motion second, I don't know if we need to vote on that, or
What-
we just want to strike the motion in the second on that last.
Didn't require a motion or a second.
Did it, so y'all were striking that, and just saying no action.
Yeah, just no action. Yeah. I think that.
Where are we at?
I think I said that, but. Okay, item number 11 was to open the public hearing, and we shall do that at 10:34. Do we have anybody that would like to speak to the replat of lot number 51? Anyone here to speak to that one?
Are the Alvarez here?
No one signed up, Chelsea? Okay. With that, we'll close the public hearing at 10:34. Item number 13, deliberate and consider possible action regarding the request by Manuel and Wendy Oliveris for replat of Lot 51, Block 2 FRF States, Section 3, being 2 acres located at 1345 West Lone Oak Road, Valley View, Texas.
Are they splitting 2 acres
2 acres
into?
into 1 acre tracts.
I'm tired of these. I'm tired of these FRF splits. We got enough people out there already. What did I do on the last one? Do you remember? This one's on Lone Oak Road. At least it's not on the interior. We just had so many issues out there lately. I wish they were here.
Yeah, I have a question on replant.
Yeah.
He probably just to split the.
Time out,
Would-
Judge. He
would
needs
you-
to be up here.
Would you please come up,
Oh, sorry.
identify yourself, and there you go.
I have a question on that one. If he just tried to replant the 3 acres into, split in 2 acres or so many different lots.
Yeah, they're trying to go from 1 2-acre lot to 2 1-acre lots.
Okay.
Sir, could you identify yourself and give us your address, please?
What is your name, sir?
My name is Rogelio, the leader.
Okay.
Okay. And where do you live?
I live just right the next lot of that on
Okay.
100 Wildflower Drive
Okay.
in Valley View, Texas.
Do you have any issues with this? Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay,
All right. Thank you.
thank you.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion to approve. Commissioner Snuggs, do I hear a second?
We're still in public hearing,
He closed the public hearing, didn't
Yeah, I did.
he? Yeah.
I did. Item number 13, deliberate and consider possible action regarding, we've already been through that. We have a motion to approve. Commissioner Snuggs, do I hear a second? Second, Commissioner Sicking. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And there are none. Oh, guess what? Item number 14, open public hearing regarding request by Diamond ERE LLC for rezone of 19.84 acres at 12841 South I-35, Valley View, Texas, from agricultural to commercial. And we will open the public hearing at 10:37. Do we have anyone that wishes to speak to this issue?
Yeah, I'd like to speak for a second.
Certainly, if you would, just identify yourself and,
Hi, good morning. My name is Daniel Garcia. I'm here with Rebecca Garcia. We're both investors in this project development, which we're going to put, our plan is to put a luxury RV resort with paved roads, swimming pool, pickleball courts, just a high-end facility that's going to go right on the highway. So that's the plan.
that's the plan.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
I just had where exactly is that?
Right north of the.
Just north of Lone Oak and 35 on the east side.
In the Valley View ECJ.
Right north of the RV dealership and all that.
Oh, okay, okay.
We've already got an RV park just to the north of that, do we not?
This is P&Z, isn't it? But it was approved.
Yes.
Yeah,
rezoned.
that'd be the only reason it's being rezoned, yeah.
Yeah, they approved it 3-1.
P&Z did.
I'm glad y'all are here because I've got another company coming to do an asphalt plant. I didn't know if that was y'all or them, so.
An asphalt claim? No, sir, that was not us.
Okay, yeah. I think we're good on the public hearing, Judge.
Anybody else wish to speak to this item right here? If not, we will close the public hearing at 10:39. Item number 16 is to deliberate and consider possible action regarding the request by Diamond ERE LLC for rezone of 19.84 acres at 12841 South I-35, Valley View, Texas, from agricultural to commercial.
I'm make a motion, we approve this deal. P and Z signed off on it. It's on I-35 where the industrial and commercial all sits, so motion to approve.
Commissioner Snuggs makes the motion to approve.
Second.
Second, Commissioner Hollowell. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And there are none. Item 16 passes 5-0. Item number 17, open a public hearing request by TYJ Realty for replat of Lot 16, Section 2, Timber Creek Ranchettes. And we shall open the public hearing at 10:40.
Mr. Johnson, you'd like to tell everybody what you got going on here, sir?
My name is Jeff Johnson, and we have this property in Timber Creek. It's the first one as you enter the neighborhood. We took it from a dilapidated home to 6 months of hard work to bring it to great condition. It was on a 5-acre tract, and we have a family who wants to purchase all of it, but in 2 separate purchases for their kids. Want to purchase the land next to it, the raw land, and the parents want to purchase the house on the rest of the land. And each of those are about 2.4 and 2.7 acres when we split them. So that's long and short of it.
Are there anybody else from Timber Creek here?
No other comments on this item? If not, we'll close the public hearing at 10:42. Item number 19, deliberate and consider possible action regarding the request by TYJ Realty for replat of Lot 16, Section 2, Timber Creek Ranchettes.
Yeah, these are 5-acre tracts, I think, all of them. And this one's
They
right.
range from 1 acre to more than 20, but there are a lot of 4.9 and 5.3s.
Okay, it seemed like people like bought multiple tracts. This thing's been around since the 70s. I didn't realize that until I pulled some plats looking for property myself. But this is right on the highway, and it makes sense to split these 2 up. It's not going to hurt anybody, and no neighbors are here. So I make a motion that we approve.
Motion, Commissioner Snuggs, to approve item number 19. Do I hear a second? I'll second item number 19. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And there are none. Item number 19 passes 5-0.
Is the precinct 2 show over now?
I don't think so. Let's see. I bet we can come up with something
Every
else.
single item was mine.
As it should be.
Guess so. I like it.
Yeah. All right, item number 20, deliberate and consider possible action regarding the Prosperity Bank Building air conditioner and budget amendment for the same. Oh, good, we can put Adam on the spot for a minute here.
So we met with 5T, they're the guys that do our air conditioning, they're the ones that put the system in at the bank. Well, there's
Thank you, Kathy.
the system is pretty complex in how it works. And what happened that blowed the compressors up is I don't think of the name, the condenser on top that lets the air flow through to cool the compressors down broke. And when it broke, it built the head pressure up in the system and it blew the compressors out. My question to 5T is, can we put something on there that if the pressure gets so high that it turns the unit off till we figure it out? To replace those 2 compressors the last time was about $20,000. He's wanting to replace the compressors, but also the evaporator, or the expansion valves and the dryers, fix the top where it doesn't do that again.
How much?
It's $25,000.
to do all what you just said?
Rick didn't know if he had the money to do that,
There's 200,000 budgeted in permanent improvement.
so then, I mean, can we take it out of that? I guess is what my budget, is why I put in there for budget approver or movement.
You don't move it, you spend it out of permanent improvement.
Okay,
But I need to check to see how much we spent with 5T.
okay,
Can't go over 50,000 with them.
right,
But that 25 is for everything you referenced?
yes.
That's fixing it's got the zero valves that open and close the louvers and all that stuff,
On the top, not the bottom.
To prevent this from happening again?
that'll,
They're saying that should take care of it.
Will they warranty it if it doesn't this time?
If it doesn't slam shut again. I mean, it's no different than like if you had your tractor or your car and you get a bunch of grass and dirt in the front of it, your warranty's done. And that's what happened to us. That latch broke. When it broke, it shut the doors so the condenser could not cool. When it did that, it built the pressure up and blew the compressor out. Now, if we could put something on, I mean, like on our tractors, we got a deal when it does that, it gets up so high, it shuts the power off the compressor. It won't do that. So he's talking about putting a fail-safe system in there to where if it does that, we don't have heat and air, or heat, cold, and that they come in and figure out why it did it instead of blowing the compressor up. So, You are now the resident air conditioner advisor.
Man,
Yes.
Need to have somebody to point to, isn't it?
And I mean, that thing's on the roof, I mean, you gotta crawl up the ladder, I mean, I see what happened. But, and we've rebuilt that, or over the past years, they've rebuilt it. You can tell that they went in and, I mean, that system's probably, they figured it's about 45 years old. Well, it happens. So it wasn't nothing it wasn't 5T's fault, it wasn't the compressor's fault.
But so this thing on top, is that part of the replacement cost?
Just to fix it, where it doesn't do that again. Yes.
but sounds like they're gonna add a fail-safe mechanism to prevent that.
Yes.
Try to.
again, this is just a Band-Aid, right?
I mean,
So
that's,
if we approve this, Shelley, and then you find out that we spent too much for 5T for the yearly limit that the state imposes on us,
We spent 8,200 with them so
so
far.
we're
We're
good.
good.
We're good, okay. So I make a motion we approve to do the repairs with 5T
And the budget amendment.
and the budget
There's no
amendment.
budget amendment, just spend it out of permanent.
Just spend it out of, yeah.
Oh, because you're not
Bring
gonna take it out of
permanent.
Rick's.
Yeah.
Okay, makes sense.
Modify my motion to say that.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, we have a motion on item number 20 to, you wanna speak your,
Yes, to do the repairs for approximately 25,000 with 5T out of permanent improvements.
okay. Did you get that, ma'am? And that's Commissioner Snuggs making that motion. Commissioner Ard seconds that motion. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? There are none. Item number 21, deliberate and consider possible action regarding broadband. Mr. Hallwell.
The RFPs are out, we're waiting on return, they should be here on the 21st. Once we receive them, we'll hand them back to the committee for ranking, and they should come back to us with a recommendation.
Okay, so no action.
No action.
All right, item number 21 is no action. Item number 22, deliberate and consider possible action regarding various grant funds.
No action.
No action, item number
need.
22. Item number 23 is executive session in compliance with the Texas Open Meetings Act, Chapter 551, Government Code, Vernon's Texas Codes annotated, consultation with attorney regarding either proposed actions and advice from court, real property issues, contracts being negotiated, or any personnel matters, any of the above.
Richard, how you feeling?
Feeling good. reconvene from executive session at 11:12. Then item number 24, deliberate and consider possible action regarding consultation with attorney regarding proposed actions and advice to the court, real property contracts being negotiated, or any personnel matters. And we have no action on anything. So item number 24 is no action. Do I hear a motion on item number 25?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion to adjourn, Commissioner Snug, second, Commissioner Arndt, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? There are none. We are adjourned at 11:13.
Cool, denied.